Hey everyone, welcome to VA Claims Veterans Helping Veterans Live Q&A. My screen is messed up.
Yes, it's still messed up. It's still green, but that's okay.
Huh?
You know, just because
Yeah,
it is. There it is.
there it is. So how's everyone doing tonight? We have our regular, well, not so regular. I guess Jackie's not here tonight, unfortunately. But we do have Stephanie, Blake, and myself. I'm Chris. How's everyone doing tonight?
We are fabulous, right, Blake? Oh,
Always.
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 Well, Blake might be a little more happy because of KC.
Hey, it's just our standard operating procedure.
I know. Whatevs. It's going to be like the
Whatevs.
Patriots all over again.
Yeah, so I hope
We
everyone's having
really
a good
shouldn't.
evening.
Huh?
Hope everyone's having a good
Really
evening
shouldn't.
tonight.
We
Wait, Blake
really
was trying
shouldn't
to
be
say
able to
something.
play the. Really shouldn't be able to have to play those 17 games before.
Oh, God. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, my God. Just as long as the check clears for Mahomes and the refs, we'll be all right, huh?
Okay, since we're talking football real quick, we got to give my Commanders, hey, a complete turnaround in 1 year, and we made it to the championship game. Even though we got annihilated, we still made it. Nobody thought we could do it. So go Commanders.
All right, so we're waiting for people to get on. Peter had a rough day at the VA, it sounds like. Sorry to hear that, Peter. Cold in
It looks
Texas.
like
RM Cherry says cold in Texas.
look at
Laughing
laughing
Guy,
guy.
hey, welcome back. It's hot tub time. So hi from the hot tub. All right.
We should do a live from the hot tub.
Yeah, that'd be a nice place to do a live.
Wouldn't it, Blake?
I don't have a hot tub, so no. I can go sit in the bathtub.
Okay.
All right,
I'm not sure.
so here's how this is going to work tonight, guys. You're going to type your questions in the comments section, and we will put it in the queue. We'll answer them as the order as they come in. Please type a complete question with as much information as possible. That'll help us answer your question. If we need more clarification, we'll ask you if you're still on. We can ask you to retype or add questions or comments. If we can't answer your question or we need more info, we're going to ask you to email us at vacvhv@gmail.com. That happens a lot. Sometimes we just can't answer things on the live without more information. So we'll ask you to do that. And then we have one more administrative item, and then we can get going if we want. What do you guys think? Laughing Guy says it's awesome in the hot tub.
Of course it is.
Oh, we got Big Sur,
Coastliner
California.
Vet.
That's north, right? Coastliner Vet, that's north. Big
Big
Sur.
Sur. Hey, Coastliner, I'm from San Diego.
Yeah, so hopefully you're not affected by the fires up there. I think you're
Yeah.
north, so should be
I
good
think I
there.
think they're safe. Yes. Coastliner. Okay, can someone tell? Okay. All right, he's starting.
Well, let me
to
get the
question.
disclaimer out of the way, and then we can kind of get moving here on some questions, and hopefully more people will chime in here in a little bit.
We'll talk about some videos.
So, Steph, you're on the camera, so you can go ahead and read it.
Oh, you want me to read it? Okay. So, Veterans Helping Veterans is not accredited agent, VSO, attorney, or entity recognized by the Department of Veterans Affairs, and we're not affiliated with the VA in any way. We do not assist veterans with the preparation, presentation, and prosecution of VA disability claims for VA benefits. This Q&A is solely for guidance purposes and should not be considered as medical or legal advice. So, with that, I just wanted to put a couple things out. We have two great new videos out for the new year. One was on the upcoming DBQ changes. Be sure to check that one out. And the other one we dropped yesterday was trying to help everybody understand the difference between 100% P&T versus static. A couple great videos that just came out in the last few weeks. So be sure to check that out.
Links are going in the description section.
Yep, links are in the description section. And also keep in mind if you ever need a consult and we really can't answer it going back and forth in email, you can always do a consult with Blake and I. We can send you all that information via email. We do, I think I'm going to speak for Blake as well. We do enjoy helping veterans. We're both like doing what we do. Blake is a retired doctor, so he has a wealth of information medically, and we're both veterans as well. So, like I said, if that's need be, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, sorry, Peter. I'm just reading your second comment there. That's terrible.
What
Looks like a
happened?
veteran. The cops came over and yanked him out of there. He obviously having a bad day.
Oh,
That's
oh,
never good.
at the VA. Yeah, it's a struggle. I know we all struggle with our issues. I've seen a couple of those instances happen at the VA too, Peter. So I know sometimes it can be traumatizing, but hopefully they're going to get the veteran help. Which, Chris, you could drop that video too if people are looking for help, or you can go to the YouTube channel. The Compact Act of 2020 is a really great act that was passed to help veterans. So there's a lot more help out there. If you need help, it's there.
All right. Well, since Jackie's not here, I guess I'll just stay on the screen here and maybe I'll do the
Might as
reading tonight.
well. Okay.
So, first one's from Bobby Dees. Hello, I'm going to submit a claim by March when my ITF expires, and I was considering putting in an increase for mental health, which is secondary to pain, but don't know if I should wait for the new schedule.
I think he's got a second part to it down there, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For rating codes to come out. I believe with the new mental health rating, I could get 100%. I'm currently at 70 for mental health.
Okay. I'll touch on this. First of all, it has not been official. So what what Bobby's referring to are several changes that have been implemented since 2022, guys. And that is the mental health, the auditory, and the respiratory. None of these changes, they keep pushing the date. Last year it was April, then it went to September, now it's April again. If that implements in April, then yes, the changes would go forward. Bobby, since you're 70% and you have an ITF, I mean, that's up to you to file under that ITF. If you believe you have what it takes right now under the current criteria that you meet 100%, which means you are total for both social and occupational impairments per the 38 CFR for mental health, then go ahead and file for the 100%. If you think you want to wait, then that's going to be your decision. But in my opinion, and I'll let Blake or anybody else, Chris, if you want to chime in, I wouldn't wait to see if it's going to happen or not. That's just my
And
thought process.
and we don't know what those changes are going to be exactly.
Right. There's
That plus the only place you can go, well, you can go either way. Filing always opens you up to a reduction also. So
it does. That was my
and
next point.
waiting till the new ones come out. You don't know that we don't know for a fact that the criteria for 100% is going to change, but there is nothing between 70 and 100. So filing
And
now and filing later,
and
same difference.
Blake brought up a good point too, Bobby. I don't know how long you've been 70%, but you have to keep that in mind. Um, the ratings are only protected under the 5, 10, and 20-year rule with the 55-year rule for age. So um, that's going to be up to you on whether or not. But if you truly believe you warrant an increase, then and you've had that ITF in, which sounds like it's been for a year, and you don't want to lose out on that effective date and you go 100%, then you should by all means file.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie. If he opens up for an increase, any secondary to that can also be reevaluated, correct?
It could, but his mental health is secondary. It sounds like he has somatic
Okay.
symptom disorder. So he has his mental health secondary to a primary. So
Okay. So could that primary be opened back up?
it could be looked at. It's possible, yes, because it's
Yeah.
connected to it.
It's connected to pain.
Right.
So we got some new names in here, which is kind of neat to see. Prepper Hikes the Appalachian Trail 2023 says you rock, Stephanie.
That's awesome. Thanks. I have a sneaky suspicion I have a feeling who that is.
Okay.
I think it's Lee. I could be wrong.
All right. All right, next, here we go.
All right.
This is from Coastliner Vet. Can someone tell me if this looks positive? The VA doctor provided it on my medical opinion for direct service connection. The claim condition was at least as likely as not. Likelihood is at least approximately balanced or nearly equal, if not higher, incurred or caused by the claimed in-service injury, event, or illness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That's
positive.
That's
positive. Absolutely. Yep. It sounds very positive. So whatever you filed a claim for during that CMP exam, it sounds like the examiner is confirming that it's due to service. So that does sound very positive.
that's definitely a positive statement, I would say.
Absolutely.
All right, RM Cherry, we've talked to her before, have we not?
We have. Hi,
So
RM
I think
Cherry.
I think it's a she, maybe not. I filed, I think meant to say TDIU. Can that be changed before I get a decision to P and T?
I filed TDIU. Can that be changed before I get a Okay, there's no decision for P and T, RM Cherry. I think what you're trying to say, did you file TDIU along with increases for additional claims? Because if that's the case, and I mean, I just had somebody actually have a similar question to that today. If you file for TDIU, and obviously that TDIU you're filing it for based on a service connected disability is preventing you from being gainfully employed, if that disability happens to get increased or any other additional claims actually get you over that threshold of 95% rounded up, then TDIU becomes moot. So the P&T, which is in my video that I just dropped yesterday, only comes with a 100% rating. So if you were to get 100% and all your disabilities were static, then you would be 100% P&T. I highly suggest go watching that video because it's very informative. But if that's the question, okay, RM said yes. Okay, so yes, that answers that question. It would become moot, RM Cherry, if in fact the claims get increased and get you to the actual 100%.
All right. CRH 574. During my CMP exam, my evaluators stated that I didn't meet the criteria for PTSD, but she mentioned that I would qualify for something else in the mental health arena. Any idea what she may have meant?
Yes. Yep. We talked about it today, Steph, with our vet.
Oh,
PTSD is held to a very specific set of criteria that you have to meet to be classified as PTSD. Now, oftentimes depression and anxiety which are just a general mental health diagnosis, often fall underneath as symptoms of PTSD. So therefore, you would be changed from a PTSD diagnosis if you don't have a specific event to tie it, a sentinel event. Then you could file under depression and anxiety, which oftentimes they will change to that if you don't meet the criteria. Correct?
okay. So caveat to this: if you file for PTSD and the examiner, which I am is I'm assuming told you you did not meet PTSD, but maybe you have anxiety or depression or major depressive disorder, unless you had that in service, because that's different from PTSD. Keep in mind, PTSD is rated based on a traumatic event that occurred in service and doesn't need the actual diagnosis in service. Mental health,
True.
in some cases, does need the diagnosis in service. So if the CMP examiner is changing or is giving their opinion that you do not have PTSD, but they think that you have a different mental health, that's going to be up to the rater based on the totality of all the evidence presented to see if they're going to go ahead and, as Blake said, rate you under a different mental health rating under the mental health diagnostic codes, or they're going to deny you and say it's not due to service. So there's a couple caveats to that. So it really is going to be based
And
on the
and
claim.
even if you weren't diagnosed with it during service, but you can show some markers that show
Yeah.
changes in behavior consistent with anxiety, depression, those kind of things. That that can also, if you, you know, uh, being reprimanded, being penalized for something while on active duty, asking for a change of duty station, all those kind of things can show triggers that cause anxiety or depression.
Those are what are called clear markers. But those are typically for PTSD when you don't report it. So there's going to be a little bit of a caveat there. So I would suggest um, if the examiner was open like that, which is interesting. Normally examiners are not. I would stay on it and see if the rater. It's possible the rater is going to get a second opinion on this because this examiner is not considering PTSD, or they're going to send it back to the same examiner and ask them for a rationale based on your current diagnosis. And I'm going to just throw it out there. Let's say the examiner gave you major depressive disorder. The rater could go back and ask the examiner, do they believe that that diagnosis is due to service? So there's a whole bunch of things that can be there right now. This is why I like to and I just want to touch real quick on this. This is why I like veterans to file for mental health as an open. What was the word we were talking today, Blake? Just as an open claim, file mental health. Don't be
Not
specific when you.
specific to PTSD or something. Yes.
Yeah, unless you know for sure you've been diagnosed with PTSD prior to filing your claim, then go ahead and go
And,
that route. But
and they've used the DSM-5 as the criteria for PTSD.
right. But this is why I always tell veterans file for mental health and let the VA determine your diagnosis. Okay.
Matt Neese
Hey,
dropped us a $2.
thank you. We appreciate it. Everything, just so
Been
everybody
dying,
knows.
I've been dying to use that.
Have you been dying? Oh, go ahead. I kind of talked over it. Go ahead.
I did it again.
He's been dying to use that, guys. Thank you. We appreciate any and all support. It all goes back to support our channel and the time that we take, the equipment, everything. So we truly appreciate any and all donations.
All right, laughing guy. Will a
Before we get to
veteran have
laughing guy, Drexel is prepper. So hey, Drexel, I know who that is. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. And then I see John and Lee are on.
John
Right
Leo?
above them.
Yep.
Huh?
Yes. So laughing
Yeah.
guy. Will a veteran have a choice to use old or new rating schedule based on which is more advantageous to veteran?
Okay. So
All depends on when you file.
right.
You won't have a choice, I guess is the.
So let me explain this. When we did the digestive system last year, and it was going to take effect May 19, 2024, if you had already had pending claims prior to that date, you were going to be considered under the old criteria. If you were going forward, but you wanted the VA to consider both the old and the new, you would have to let them know. So if we're going to be talking about what I think we're talking about, which is the upcoming mental health and the audiology and the respiratory, there's going to be a date of when that's going to go into effect. And also it's including sleep apnea going to 0. Then you're going to know that date. So let's just take, for example, April 25th. Let's say they say that. You're going to know that as of April 25th, they're going to change. So and if you already have an existing claim right now, you're grandfathered in under the old criteria. Now that you know the new one, you're going to be able to have the option to be considered for both. So I hope I thoroughly confused everybody. Did I? Because Chris went away. I think Chris was irritated. Were you irritated?
No, I got to do some administrative stuff in the background, so I don't.
I know. You're used to not being on the screen.
Hey, Chris Griffith is on. He says, "Hey, how's everything going?"
Hey.
All
Hey,
right.
Chris. I want to give him a shout out. Vetted VA.
Vetted
That's
VA.
a great group. Great group in the Facebook. If you have any real estate needs, join that group on Facebook, Vetted VA.
definitely join their Facebook group. And
Yes.
John and Lee are on. She has no idea what we're talking about, but yes, John is listening. He needs to start his process. I think we've been
We've been
talking to them for months now, right? Trying to get
Hey, maybe on our next meetup we'll be able to talk to them.
right. So get on it, John.
Get on it, John.
All right. So Coastliner Vet saying I'm sitting at 94% VA math, hoping I get at least 10% for a claim of whatever that is, Blake.
What is that?
Um, it's a paresthesia, loss of feeling, numbness, basically in his lower left extremity.
All right. So the,
Okay.
the
Comes from
test
the
confirmed the condition. I'm not sure how the math is going to work out. The 10% will get you there,
That
but
w- that would be, but I guess my question to you, Coastliner Vet, is what are you trying to are you trying to service connect this primary? Are you trying to service connect this to your, do you have lower back? And are you trying to service connect it that way?
more than
That's
likely it's service connected to through his um, LS spine.
you think? Because normally
Yeah,
when you have a lower back disability claim, they
it's just
have
like a
to,
ridiculous. It's like a
yeah,
radiculopathy,
radiculopathy.
it says
but it's
actually
not. It's numb.
service connected direct.
Okay. Can you have, so, okay, so, okay. So you're trying to service connect this directly. Well, I mean, 10% is all you need, is which he's correct at 94. He's sitting at that threshold. So yes, if you were to get 10%, are you only doing one lower? You're only doing the left, not the right? Both
It
doesn't
may
have
only
it?
be a left side. It may only be a left-sided issue.
Okay. All right. Well, you
It
have
can
the
be. It
EMG
can be
test.
unilateral.
At least you have the EMG test.
So you have the EMG test. Do you have the current diagnosis linking to service? And did you have any type of injury in service to cause this type of medical? What does that say?
Type of
Direct.
medical opinion provided, yeah, medical opinion for direct service connection. And yes, he does.
Okay. Well, if you have the current diagnosis and you have the in-service injury and it's connected together, you should not have a problem. Keep us updated on that.
All right, Bobby D's again. If all your disabilities are static and you file for an increase for a secondary condition, can the VA decrease you?
Okay. So when you have all your disabilities static, that means you do not need any routine future exams. That means the VA does not see any improvement. If you file for a secondary condition to a primary condition, typically the VA is going to look at the primary condition that you're filing the secondary. Does that mean you're going to be proposed a reduction? Does that mean it's going to be looked at? No. However, anytime you file a secondary to a primary, typically the VA is going to look at the primary because they want to see what you're claiming is causing this secondary condition. And as I mentioned earlier, the only way your ratings are actually protected, and I don't care what anybody says out there about I'm 100% PNT, I'm safe. Of course, if you don't file any claims, you are. If you file any claims, you are always subjecting yourself to review. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't file any claims that you don't deserve to file for. But your ratings are only protected under the 5, 10, and 20-year rule, with the 55-year rule as no re-examination, so long as if you're over the age of 55, you don't file any new claims. So I hope that made sense. Hey, that's posting as FTA instead of VA.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm switching accounts.
That's okay. So I hope that helps.
All right, next is Matt Neese. Uh,
What?
I'm currently working on my dad's VA submission for hypertension and diabetes type 2 that are listed as presumptive conditions. Since I'll be the one filing, how legally can I do that? Is there
So
a
you need
form,
power.
special
Yes.
power of attorney? That's what he's asking.
Yeah. So you're going to need power of attorney to communicate with the VA. If you do not have power of attorney, you cannot communicate with the VA. Do you have actual, I know you said you're trying to help your dad now. Do you have power of attorney over your dad now? Because you can you can file with that with the VA to be able to help your father navigate through the system because he's probably older and needs the help, which that's great of you to do. I think that's awesome.
And also, can he get an intent to file since he's working on it? Can he submit an ITF for him?
Uh, again, you'd have to have power of attorney to submit
Right.
for
Once he gets that, once he gets the power of attorney, he should submit the ITF, correct, to get that.
No,
it. Right.
no.
Why not?
He's going to put the ITF in place now. If he can go online, right? Not now is what he's saying. You can go online to va.gov. Does your father have a va.gov account? If you can set that up for him, then you go ahead, put the ITF in place. It gives you a year to file.
Right. He's asking if POA is state specific, and then I'm not sure if his dad can file anything. So can he file an intent to file for his dad?
Oh, okay. He can always go online and put the ITF in his place. No, you can go online and do that. That's not a problem. You're going to need power of attorney. A power of attorney comes in to where if is your father of what is it, Blake, a sound mind and body right now where he can
Right. Is your father competent
right.
to make his own decisions?
Because if he's still competent, you can still have a power of attorney. You just have to get the power of attorney filled out as to what he wants to delegate you to do, and then you can provide that to the VA.
And
But
then
I mean,
do you know if they're state specific?
No, they're not. It has to be.
my mom was
Typically,
California. We did it here in Florida. I was
yeah.
able to.
Typically, you can actually just write it up that you give him power of attorney for financial matters or um, medical, like a durable power of attorney. Just needs to be signed, witnessed, and notarized.
Notarized. Yeah, it's pretty simple to do. And
Yeah, he
she
says his
says,
dad's aware. He's thinking he needs to get his medical records outside. Yeah, he needs
yeah.
outside medical records as well.
So just to
But
recap,
have your dad do the intent to file.
yeah.
If he's competent and he's cooperating, and then you can help him put it all together.
I mean, just to recap, go online with him, get the va.gov updated or online, go on there with him, put the ITF in place, let it sit there, go ahead and get the power of attorney going, help him get his records through the National Archives or a FOIA request, whatever you need to do for him, and then help him file the claims. If you think you're pretty capable of doing this for him, then I would. I wanted to catch back. He's trying to file for what was it, hypertension and diabetes, and he said it was presumptive. I'm assuming is your father Vietnam era?
Agent Orange.
Agent
Yeah.
Orange, something.
So that's perfect. If he's got those two diagnoses now and he served in those presumptive areas, then it should be pretty easy to get those rated for sure.
Yeah.
Make sure they're listed on his DD 214.
Yep.
Yes. Thailand 74. Is that the presumptive area?
That fits.
Does that fit?
Yeah, that fits. Yep.
I just think the ITF's important to get that in while you're gathering all this stuff. You might as well lock that date in.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Ashika Roberts, I had an exam and now had 2 SCDS rated at both at 100%, claimed TBI, and the decision was deferred for medical opinion. Is this a negative thing?
What is SCDS? That is a first for me.
Me too. I was thinking, okay.
Ashika,
can you tell us what that is?
SDC rated, well, they're rated both at, wait, can you put that back?
Yeah, I'll put it back.
They're rated both at 100%. Claim TBI and decision was deferred from, is this an, wait a minute. Yeah, I'd like to know. I'm wondering if this is coinciding with the TBI, if the decision was deferred for a medical opinion. I've never heard of two things rated at 100% regarding one disability. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what an SCDS is. You know, and I want to Google that. Let me see real quick.
Sheikha, if you're still here, can you let's see. Service-connected disabilities is what she's saying.
Oh, okay. Go back again.
So
she has 2 service-connected disabilities rated at 100%.
So what were those?
What 2 service-connected disabilities are 100%? claimed TBI and the decision was deferred for medical opinion. Is this a negative thing? Well, I guess that would be my next question. What are the two? I guess my next question is, what are the two service-connected disabilities? Is one of them mental health? And then two, was TBI included? Had to be because it was deferred. Okay, I think I know where this is going. If you filed a claim and you got two of those disabilities rated at 100% each, and the TBI,
One for mental health, one for seizures.
okay, well, isn't that TBI?
Both of those would fall under the TBI umbrella.
Yeah. So if you already have seizures, they might be looking at the 100% rating then.
Yeah.
Did you happen, and you can just put yes, did you happen to file mental health, seizures, and TBI separately? All three like that? Because that would make sense to me of what's going on. So that's what it sounds like. She got the 100% and then the seizures. And then, oh, by the way, you should be getting SMC-S because of that, because you have two disabilities. Anytime you have one disability that's rated at 100% and you have any additional disabilities that are 60% or higher, SMC-S should be okay. That's what happened. Okay, so I see why you're worried. I wouldn't worry there because you filed them separately. Oh, you were rated for seizures years ago? Okay, I'm not understanding. The question I thought said that she was just rated for two service-connected disabilities at 100%. So did you go ahead and file for TBI after you got these two other ratings a few years ago? Because that's what I want to know. I thought this was all together because she said deferred. So something had to be filed with the TBI to make it deferred because they don't defer. So, but that's my only, seizures are rated with TBI. So you can't get any more. So if you're getting the 100% for seizures, you can't get any more for that. I hope she answers.
Yeah, I hope she answers. So yes, just filed for TBI.
Why? No. You can't get any higher. You're 100%. The seizures are encompassed to the TBI. I'm
Did
not
someone
sure.
instruct her to do that?
Did somebody tell you to do this, Ashika? You have two 100% ratings. So I'm not sure, but if it's deferred, why? Okay, this may be something we have to take off, but I would really like to know why it's deferred. Did you file something else? Because normally a rating isn't deferred without something else taking place first. But okay, what else did you file? Come on, you got to give it to us all at once. We can't just kind of sit here. We got a lot of questions. I'm trying to help you. I'm into this one now. So, what else did you file with your TBI? And furthermore, did somebody tell you to do this? Because I don't understand.
Medical opinion or
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna recap this. Ashika, we're gonna pop up the Gmail. You're gonna need to go ahead and email me here. I have no idea why you filed that you have two 100% ratings. So if you could email me at that, provide me the decision letter redacted that you got a few years ago with your two 100% ratings, and then provide me with what you just filed for. And we'll go from there. Okay?
Also Matt Neese with his dad. You can also email us too if you need
Yes.
any more help or direction. Maybe we can help you out with
I can
getting
help
your
you out
dad's
too.
claim.
Yeah, especially I did power of attorney stuff too with my mom. So
Yeah, so if you're still on here, Matt, go ahead and email us as well. Maybe we can help you out with that as well.
yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Thomas Knapp. Recently awarded P&T. Do I need to get DoD ID card? And if so, where and how do I get it? Just found your channel. Thanks for your help and support the vets.
Sure. So first, congratulations on getting what you deserve. The DoD ID card, it's up to you. If you're planning to go to the bases, it's a lot easier to get on and off with a DoD ID card versus your Vic ID. What you would do is go to, and Chris, if you want to go off cue here, you go to Rapids Locator. You can get it for him and put it in there, but it's called Rapids Locator because I can't put it into the comment section. But it's called Rapid Locator, and you can make an appointment online, Thomas, through your nearest base. And in that appointment, you can select a time and date to go there. And then you can go and get all the information you need, such as your award letter, the form you need to fill out, if dependents need to
Hey,
get.
Steph, can you put it on your screen? Make sure I'm getting the right one because it doesn't look right to me.
All right, hold on. Rapid Locator for ID card.
If I got the right one, I'll put the link in.
It's essentially the deer's office in your nearest post.
The OSD.mil.
It's taking a minute. Hold on. This right here.
Okay, I'll drop that link in there. All right.
So Thomas, that right there, the first one. Oh, put me back. Share me. Share it again, please. This one right here is your ID card office locator and appointments. You would click continue. You would go ahead and go through the prompts and pick your base. And then from there, you would go ahead and go to the local base. Now you'll need to also make sure that you have, you can bring us back, Chris. You have to go make sure you bring all the proper documentation. I do have a saved post in our Facebook group for 100% PNT veterans. Be sure to join our VA group if you haven't already. Chris, if you want to throw that up there, it sounds like we got a new subscriber. You can join our Facebook group. Once you're in there, go ahead and search it for the 100% PNT post. I've got a ton of links for 100% PNT veterans. In there has all the information on what you need for a DoD ID card. And congrats again on getting what you deserve.
All right, Shemp Howard. Never got my CD after VA said they sent it. Any other way to obtain your rating code sheet? C file, right?
Request
That
it
is
again.
his C file.
Yep.
That is his C file. You could go, couple things. You can go to your regional office and you could go in and ask for a FOIA request for your rating code sheet. Go to the local VBA and ask for it as well. Not sure if a VSO, if you're not assigned to them, will print it off for you. So that's about your only other option is the regional office, the VBA, and do what's called a FOIA request and ask for it right there. What was Matt? Matt was saying the link I posted goes straight to the locator. I didn't see the link.
I didn't see the link either. I posted it as well. So
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks, Matt, for trying to help us out too. Appreciate
yeah,
that.
I didn't see the link, but yeah, we got it posted up. So
Okay.
So right now Blake, you can check me, but I think we've answered all the questions.
I think we've answered everything.
Yeah, Ashika, if you have any questions, post them. But Ashika said she had a TBI injury while on active duty. Okay, understand, and that's why I want to know, because if you have two 100% ratings, I'm really dumbfounded why any more claims were open. So that's why if you email me.
The only reason I can think of to open any new claims with that kind of rating would be if you have something that you absolutely know is service connected and it's going to kill you within the next 5 years.
So here's what she's saying here. Had a TBI injury while on active duty. They never diagnosed you with the TBI, but with seizures.
And migraines.
There we go. With seizures and migraines, began to struggle. Was told to file for TBI because it was primary.
God, who told you? I'm just, okay. I really want to just reiterate this. You had two 100% ratings, which means you're also getting SMCS. I'm not understanding where somebody thought that you should be filing for TBI because you're already rated for seizures. I'm just, like I said, email me and we can maybe try to connect that way too, because back to your original question about deferred, is there anything you should be concerned? Well, the reason I think it's deferred is they're now looking at your TBI rating. I mean, your seizures, excuse me, your seizures. did you did you see? And just a quick thing, if you
Hold
have
on,
any
hold on,
questions,
hold on, hold on, hold
hold on.
on.
He's been dying to do that.
Thanks, Laughing Guy. You're always a good supporter of the channel. We appreciate it.
We do. I appreciate we appreciate the donation. And did you see Matt
Yes.
trying to
We can
one
get
up
in a
him?
bidding war. We can get in a bidding war if
I was
necessary.
to say, Laughing Guy, lay down the gauntlet, Matt. You got to step up now.
So
Lanya, hold on. Lanya's asking a question. Lanya A, we did not receive your question, so go ahead and
no, so
type it up, and we'll answer it right away.
we're getting a lot more people on. So listen, if you are watching right now and you've just recently joined and you have questions, please put them in the comment section as soon as possible. Because as we go through the questions and we don't have any more questions, we're trying to help you. So it'd just be best to put the questions in there. But
Chica's coming up with more stuff here. I think we're definitely
okay.
need to talk to her. We can't answer this on the live, obviously.
When this rating came back, I had a rating, a new rating of 100%. Yeah. We're definitely going to need to, yeah, Ashika, I need to see the history of the total original decision from a few years ago. And then what happened most recently that's brought you to where your TBI is deferred. Because I guarantee you the TBI is deferred because you're already rated for seizures. In fact, I can do this while you get your cha-ching again.
Yes, Coastliner Vet. We thank you for the donations, guys. It really helps us. It goes to all the software costs and the microphones and monitors and everything we use. So we really appreciate any help we can get.
Okay, so I'm going to read this really quickly. I'm just going to read this. So the answer can be yes if you have a TBI and a seizure. However, if the seizures are considered a secondary condition directly caused by the TBI, particularly in cases of moderate or severe TBI, then they'll be rated under the TBI. So that's where I'm going with this, unless they're distinct and separate. So that's why your TBI is being that's why the TBI is being deferred, because you were already rated for the seizures at 100%. So that's why they're looking at the TBI. So again, we will definitely discuss this more off the live and in an email, and definitely get some other enlisted help just to help you. But I know your question was you were concerned about it, but that's my only thought process why it's being rated. Let me look at something else. Go ahead. Hey, you got another cha-ching.
Yeah, Lanya's posted her question.
Well, she needs to post the second half.
Thomas Knapp.
No. Yeah, Lanya needs a second half to the question, I believe. There she is. All right, we got it. So,
okay.
But yes, Thomas, thank you very much. A lot of support tonight, guys. We love it. Thank you.
Yes, we do. We truly appreciate it, guys.
Okay, so let's get to Lanya's question here. So recently had my first CMP exam this month. First time having a CMP exam after 20 years retirement. Wow. I was excited to go to the CMP exam because I'd never been to one before. I was told by VSO that I was in, where'd it go?
The 20-year rule.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. I was in the 20-year rule. I submitted all my records, papers. These things keep getting in the way. There we go. Prior to going to CMP exam. CMP exam was in regards to surgery I had while on active duty. But after CMP exam, I got a letter from Veterans Affairs. All right. Is there more to that even?
Yeah. Yeah, I see it down below Peter, who you get to cha-ching next.
All right. requesting more records. Recently had surgery for bladder prolapse, but why would VA want more records?
Okay, so there's a lot to digest here. First of all, you said you retired after 20 years. Well, were you rated when you retired 20 years ago?
Or no, did she just retire after 20
Or
years of
did you just
service?
retire and never had any ratings? Because
I'm saying she
then the
might have just
VSO,
retired after 20 years of service, not 20 years ago.
oh, wait a minute. Recently had my first CMP exam this month. First time having a CMP exam after 20 years retirement. Doesn't that make you sound like she retired 20 years ago?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to. Did she just retire after doing 20 years, or did she retire 20 years ago?
That's why
It
she's
sounds
talking
to
about
me
the
like she
yearly.
retired 20 years ago.
Correct.
She
She
said
said retired.
retired,
Okay,
never been.
there we go. Never been to an exam. So no, your VSO does not know what they're talking about. You retired 20 years ago. Had you had ratings 20 years ago, then those would fall under the protected rule ratings. So if you retired 20 years ago and you waited till just recently to file claims, then those are new claims. So if that's what you're trying to do, and the CMP exam was in regards to surgery while on active duty, are you we're missing some, wait a minute.
She's
Now she said
80% now.
See, I don't understand I don't understand the question. When did you get the 80% rating, Lanya? Did you just recently get it? Because the 20-year rule doesn't apply to when you retired 20 years ago. The protected rule ratings start from the date you received the disability, the month and year.
She got it prior to retiring.
Okay, so all right, so here we go back. So now we got to backpedal. Okay, so 20 years ago you got 80% rating. If that's what I'm now understanding, is that what everybody else is now understanding?
That's what I understand.
Yes.
Okay, because the question was a little bit
So
confusing.
20 years later, she went to her first CMP exam and she's 80%.
So then the VSO is correct. That 80% rating is protected under the 20% or under the 20 protected rule ratings. So what did you just recently file for surgery due to service? Is it regarding the bladder prolapse? Did you have that while you were in service? So I need more information. Maybe while she's doing that. So this is what I need to know. I need to know, what did you just file for regarding the surgery for active duty? Is it regarding the bladder prolapse? And if so, then we can kind of move from there.
Hey, Peter, thanks again.
You're really getting to use that.
Yeah. Well, Peter, hoping you have a better night than you had a day today. So thanks for supporting and showing up.
You've always been supportive. You and Laughing Guy. We truly appreciate your long support. Okay.
So yes, regarding bladder prolapse.
Okay. So basically, go ahead on the medical. Like,
I think what they want further documentation on is probably for continuation of care throughout the 20 years since you retired.
Probably.
Continuity of service, or
yeah, continuity of care.
Continuity of care. Yeah.
So when you say why the VA may want more records, well, it's been 20 years since you've been out. You just recently filed a new claim for the surgery and service. I'm assuming you're probably filing for the bladder prolapse service connected as well. So I'm assuming and hoping you've got current records regarding the bladder prolapse to show the continuity to surgery from 20 years ago, because that's what you're going to basically need. So while you have the in-service, that's good. You've got the in-service. If you had the surgery, that's in service. Now you just need to show the continuity. Since you didn't file for that when you were within 1 year of getting out, you now have to have that kind of that connection. So that's probably why the VA is wanting more records. And if they're requesting records, did you provide the records from, I would assume, would this be a...
She said, yes, I do have current records and was submitted to VA.
Okay.
So they're just trying to
They may just be doing their due diligence. If you've already provided the records, you can always submit under the new layman statement witness form, the VA 2110-210. I mean, you can always state that you've provided all the medical evidence to support your claim and ask them to consider your claim if you think that's where you want to be. A lot of people do the quick submit, like they go through the quick submit. I'm sorry, not the quick submit. They go on for their claims and say, decide my claim now. You can do that too. My personal opinion, I know a lot of veterans, including myself, don't have a lot of patience when it comes to claims, but sometimes let it just play out, let them figure out they're doing their due diligence. And I know it can be frustrating to wait on your claim, but in my opinion, at least it sounds like they're working on it.
Okay. Lisa Scott Longo was 100% for lower back, knees, ankles. Filed for A&A and had another CMP who dropped me to 90. Filed HLR, denied. Filing for feet separately now. Do you think that is the right direction?
Okay, so when you filed for the A&A, they proposed a reduction, and you don't file an HLR for a reduction. So it sounds like you didn't answer the reduction. Okay, so she's 90. So I'm assuming she's trying to file back for what she lost. It would be helpful to know what dropped you to 90 in regards to you're saying you were 100% for your feet, ankles, and back. So what was proposed a reduction that got you down to 90%? And it sounds like filing for the A&A is what triggered it because you were already 100%. So we would need to know that. We would need to know what the we hold on a second. I didn't look at that. We will need to know what was proposed a reduction. Again, if you want to pop up the email, Chris, this is probably something I can help you off the live. Oh, okay.
CMPs never said range of motion was better.
Okay, well, that's possible. It depends on how long you were 100% as well, Lisa. If you weren't 100% very long for these ratings, and here we go. I think we're talking a lot about protective rule ratings tonight. The 5, 10, and 20 year, if you didn't have those ratings very long, then it was possible to be proposed a reduction. You could have fought the reduction, but that's not with an HLR. So if you can email me, Lisa, send me the redacted decision. Yeah, only 3 years. That's why. Send me the redacted decision that was proposing you the reduction from 100 to 90. Please tell me what you're trying to file back, what you're trying to get back now. And maybe Blake and I can do some type of one-on-one with you consultation and help you navigate through this. Okay, what else is she putting up there, Chris?
This is Lanya's now.
Oh, this is somebody different. Okay.
This is Lanya again.
Okay, we'll deal with her.
We have Daryl that is in the queue here, so we'll get to Daryl here.
Okay, hold on. So, Lisa, just to recap, send it to me email, redact the decision. We'll go from there. Let me know what you're trying to file now, and we're happy to try and help you the best we can. And Matt did something.
Yeah, Daryl Davis was recently awarded 100%. My VSO said I should go ahead and apply for P&T status. Does that sound right?
Boy, this is coming up a lot lately. So I'm assuming you're 100% total, which means you must have a disability that's not static. Before I go, I have heard of veterans asking for P&T because they want to be
reduced.
And got reduced. Before I could really answer that, I would need to know what I would really like to know what is not static. The only way you're 100% total is because you have at least one disability that has a routine future exam. So I really can't answer that without knowing that answer. So if you, again, email, if you want to email or the disability that's not static and you can post it right now, then maybe we can try and help you a little bit better. If not, you're going to have to email me once you find out what disability is not static. But that's the only reason why you must have a disability that's not static. Did you see Matt's? Yeah, we're having a bidding war.
Congratulations on the new job, Matt. That's awesome.
Oh, yay! That's awesome.
Looks like Matt's getting paid too, so that's great. Congratulations, Matt, and thank you for your support. We appreciate it.
Position. Wow, that's a good position, government job. Congrats. Okay, so all right, so where are we? Because it looks like Lanya's got a two-parter.
Yeah, Lanya's got some more questions here, so
okay.
We're all caught up with everyone else, so we'll get back to Lanya here. Also submitted the claim for MSA for PTSD, was diagnosed by mental health and was getting counseling for mental health for PTSD for months, and got a letter from VA mental health doctor stating, got PTSD. My question, when I go to a CMP exam for PTSD, can the CMP examiner change the PTSD to depression even though I have a letter from VA mental health doctor?
Okay, so you filed for MST. So here we go. This is another topic today too, because Blake and I dealt with this earlier today. PTSD is a different exam when it comes to mental health. So you're filing for PTSD. So you basically have to provide the clear markers, because I'm assuming it wasn't reported, which is fine, but you have to provide clear markers. So if you have a current PTSD diagnosis and it has to be a psychiatrist stating that it's due to service, the examiner is still going to have to confirm and concede that you have PTSD due to service. So that's why when you file for PTSD due to MST, you must submit the VA 21-0781, and you must provide what we call clear markers. And clear markers are things like Blake, we were talking about earlier today. It's actually, we got to remove the A off of that now, Chris. It's just the 0781. We're going to have to change that. But clear markers are things like poor performance, requesting a transfer, going to the clinic for an STD or pregnancy test, confiding in a buddy, confiding in a family or friend, anything like that to substantiate. And the answer to your question is yes, if the examiner does not confirm and concede you have PTSD, then they will state that accordingly.
All right, Ray Brewer. I filed in September 24 for feet and ankles, had surgery on December 12th. Claim didn't show up until December 20th on website. Just had my CMP last week. I'm curious to know if I can still get compensation.
Wait, what? I filed in September 2024 for feet and ankles. Okay, so you have a pending claim. Are you trying to file for the 100% temporary disability due to surgery? And I'm not following this question. Is anybody else? I filed in September 2024 for feet and ankles. Had surgery on December 12th. Claim didn't show up until December 20th on the website. Just had CMP last week. I'm curious to know if I can still get compensation.
He says he's currently
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he can. The issue is going to be, did the surgery fix the problem, and do you still have ongoing issues? So this would be just like somebody that has a rating for their knee and getting a knee replacement, which means you, even though it's better, you may get a lower rating. But even if you'd had surgery, if you'd been rated prior and had surgery, then they would reevaluate you after the surgery.
Okay, I understand what he's saying. So basically, he's saying he filed a claim in September 2024, and he's wondering if, since he had surgery, does that mean he's not going to get rated? Well,
right.
Blake's correct. I mean, I'll be blunt with you. I've had 7 surgeries to my feet, and ain't none of them helped. And I'm still sitting here right now in a boot. So look at my husband shaking his head. Nope.
I'm driving Miss Daisy.
No, He
I
is
turned to
driving
into a
Miss Daisy
chauffeur.
right now. No, the answer is just because you have surgery doesn't mean it rectifies the problem. So, like what Blake said, depending on what you had the surgery for your feet and ankles. Now, I'm curious, did you have surgery to both your feet and ankles at the same time? Because you're saying feet and ankles.
It says bunion and 4 hammer toes.
Ay, ay, ay. God, he's foobarred like me. Um,
No, hold on. Let's not get crazy.
Nobody is like you.
hey. Now, anyways, so a bunion is typically 10%. I'll tell you that. And hammer toe, they all have to be hammered. Otherwise, it's 0%. So if that's for the toes, because again, got to understand toes, feet, and ankles are 3 different things. So all of that is pertaining to toes. So did you file for the toes? On one foot? Yes, I understand that. So you're filing for that on your foot. That's fine. The bunion can be 10%. That's what I'm saying. If you had 4 hammers, it's possible you could get a little bit more than 0, but typically it's 0% for the hammered toe, the hammered. Now that they're fixed, I mean, going back to you, Blake, since the hammer toes were fixed. Now, I've had toe surgery and it hasn't fixed me. I've had Morton's neuroma. Does hammer get fixed? You had hammer toes, Chris. So does hammer toe get fixed?
It can. I
It
mean,
can.
the success rate of I can't give you the specific success rate of the surgery, but it's greater than 50%, or they wouldn't do it.
Okay. So hold on, let's look at this.
I don't even think they do surgery on mine. They just said, hey, we got to let them heal.
Right, you broke yours.
Well, yeah, I just broke mine.
Okay, so if we go and look at the hammer toes, which I'll get there in a second. Oh, you put me on while I'm fast forwarding through here. I got to get down there and find it. It's long.
Well, no one wants to look at Blake and I, so.
I know. Well, I'm trying to find. Hold on. Amputation. Sorry. There's the hand. Okay. Let me get down there. Hold on. What is that? Wait. Am I there? Oh, that's amputation. Okay, lower extremity. Shoulder, arm. Where's the damn foot? Wrist.
The amputation, that's what you're working on, isn't it, Steph?
Can
You
you
know,
just do like
y'all.
Command F and find it?
Well, my screen just went out. Hold on a second. Here we go. Here's the foot. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hold on. I probably could, but sometimes it is what it is. Oh hell. Hold on. Let me just look at it. Hammer toe rating code. Okay, so the diagnostic code is 5282 for 10% rating is assigned for hammer toes involving all toes, unilateral without clawfoot. So that's that's a quickie right there. Basically, it's assigned under 5282. And as I was saying, you can bring me back. All toes have to be hammered in order for the 10%. So with the bunion, I definitely know the bunion can be 10%. But the hammer toes, so it goes back to his question. If he had the surgery, did it fix the problem? Not necessarily. So, you know, anything's possible. At this point, Ray, I would just let it process through. I mean, if you had the surgery, I guess, did you have the surgery at the VA? Because if you had the surgery at the VA, then it's possible they'll see the history notes on that. And I guess my other question is, you had it on the 12th. Has it helped?
Well, he's still
He's
in the
still
boot.
in a boot.
He's still in a boot, so he's got a long way to go to see if it even helped.
Two worst case. Worst case scenario.
Had to show
Worst
it.
case scenario is he gets denied. Next case would be that he gets a 0%, which is still service connected. And if it gets worse on down the road, he can go back and file for an increase.
And here's the kicker, Ray. Are you listening? If you get this service connected as of September and you had the surgery, oh no, that's after. He can't get it. Damn it. Wait. Yes.
He should be able to get 100%.
100% temporary disability. If you get granted September effective date in September and you had the surgery in December, you can file for 100% temporary disability. So keep that and we have a video on that on our YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. You can actually get 100% temporary disability for that once it's service connected. So remember that. I'm not sure if you knew about that. Okay, so what is Bobby D saying?
So, Bobby D, is there a way to find an old schedule of rating?
Yes. So here we go.
Called Google.
Nope. Nope. Put the screen on.
You're googly.
Right here, guys. This is the 38 CFR. Anytime, see how it says right up here, updated as of 1/24/2025. If you want to go and get an amended one, you would go ahead and click the date here. You would go ahead and select the parameter of the date and you would go to the date. So that's how you would do it. Only trust the 38 CFR, guys. And that is the 38 CFR Part 4. So anytime you want to go, so if you go over here to Part 4 and you want to find out anything about it and you go to Part B, which is the disability ratings, you go ahead and you just enter your date. That's how you would do it, Bobby.
You're welcome, Bobby. Hope that helped.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right. Buzz Rambo.
Buzz Rambo.
For Vietnam era vets with Hep C that ended with cirrhosis of the liver, are these claims just as likely as not claiming jet guns?
What is jet guns?
What are jet guns? Yeah.
Is that exposure or something?
That's probably exposure to jet fuel.
But he's Vietnam era, so isn't that?
I don't know if Hep C falls under Agent Orange or not.
Hold on, let me
look.
look.
Very possible.
Hep C presumptive to what was it? Vietnam?
Yeah.
Agent Orange.
Yes, it is. It's considered a presumptive condition for Vietnam veterans.
So you'd have to apply for your Hep C, and then you can do secondary cirrhosis. Well, you can do them at the same time, but
yep. So you've already got the presumptive era. So all you need to do is.
Oh, he's saying jet gun for shots. Those old.
Oh.
He's saying he got Hep C through that.
Okay, but
Hep C, he would have had to been in the Vietnam theater. He'd had to been in the theater to get it as a presumptive. If you were just Vietnam era and stateside, it's going to be tough to provide.
Yeah, remember those guns they shot you with at basic? You know,
yeah.
That's what he's claiming. He's claiming those as Hep C.
He's gonna have to because Hep C can come from a number of places. It can come from drug use. It can come from sex. It can come from any bodily fluids. So he's gonna have to prove that he was in Vietnam or boots on the ground in those theaters.
We're not saying you're not the first, man. We understand you, but what we're saying is the shots are not considered presumptive. Now you're mentioning cirrhosis of the liver. Cirrhosis of the liver is and can be for Agent Orange if you were exposed to Agent Orange. But again, if you didn't go in theater, if you were just in during Vietnam era and you didn't serve over in the presumptive areas, neither one of those are considered presumptive.
Yeah, I think he's just saying the Vietnam era vets apparently might have had this issue with Hep C and these.
I agree.
There were a lot of Vietnam era vets that had Hep C, but again, if you look, you'd have to go out and pull up the studies to show how many were caused by.
Okay, well, he's answered his own question. He says it's been paid many times. So if you got that answer, then
go for it.
Yeah, go for it then. We're just trying to tell you that it's not presumptive. So if you can prove it and it's been paid many times and you've seen other veterans, then absolutely go ahead and file for it. Okay.
All right. Paul Baggett, I was just bumped up to 40% waiting on OSA still. When that's approved, will the back pay be for the OSA 50% or the 30% difference? I would be 70% total.
30% difference. You don't get back paid for individual disability. You get back paid from the difference from one overall percentage to another overall percentage. So if you're 40 and you go to 70, you're going to get that difference of 30 from when you got the 40.
All right, Lanya's back. How does plantar fasciitis come into play when I had bunion surgery while on active duty and also broken my metatarsal bone in my foot as well?
I don't know what you mean. How does it come into factor? How does it come into play? I mean,
I guess how does plantar fasciitis factor into the disability ratings and bunion?
How does plantar fasciitis work on a medical standpoint, Blake?
Well, I'm not sure if she's saying that her bunion surgery caused the plantar fasciitis, or if she had plantar fasciitis.
Well, she
Secondary
said she had
to,
bunion surgery while active duty, and then she also broke her metatarsal bone in her foot. So a couple caveats to that is if you had bunion surgery while you were in service, you should have filed for that surgery because residuals will at least be 0 for that. And if you broke I don't know which metatarsal you broke, but if you broke any bone in service, a minimum is 0 as well without any residuals. Now you can have residuals down the road like I did.
now
Like
you would have to get a podiatrist or an ortho physician to state that it's your plantar fasciitis, if you have it currently, is more likely than not to have been caused by either the bunion surgery or the broken metatarsal.
It's possible the broken metatarsal could do it, but just keep that in mind too, Lanya, that you could potentially get those rated since you actually have those in service. So, okay. Well, we've been on for an hour and 15. Look at
Hour
that.
and 15 minutes. Blake, you can check me, but I think we got everybody, right?
I think we've gotten everybody.
All right. So just a couple house cleaning things to finish up. We're going to try and possibly, guys, maybe put one out. I don't know. We'll check with everybody, but maybe we'll try and do February 11th. No, we don't like, are we liking Tuesday? Are we liking Tuesday, Blake?
I'm okay. I'm good with Tuesdays.
Tuesday seems to be the better day so far.
I feel like Tuesday. Yeah, I'm feeling a Tuesday. So maybe we could try February 11th, guys, and do another live February 11th and give it a couple weeks.
Well, once we figure that out, we'll let everybody know.
Yeah. And be sure to check out the videos. We put out a couple great new videos on the YouTube channel. Be sure to join us in our Facebook group.
And thank you, everybody who donated tonight. Thank you very much for supporting us.
And by February the 11th, I should be able to take orders for Chief Super Bowl championship shirts for a minimal fee.
So if they lose,
what if they lose?
Not even in the cards.
We
gotta place a fun little kind of bet.
Yeah, the email is up on the screen now. That's vacvhv@gmail.com.
Yep.
Steph said it a lot. We tell people all the time, please redact. We don't want your social security numbers. We don't want we don't want any of that stuff. Just give us your name and redact everything else. We don't want that stuff, please.
And if you need a consult or anything, feel free to email us as well. Blake and I are available. We can always make the time, according to our schedules, available for everybody. So again, thank you everybody for donations. Thank you everybody for your questions. We're glad to help. Blake, thank you for coming on.
Peter, I hope you have a good night.
Yes, Peter, I hope it's better. All right, guys, we'll talk later.
Talk to everyone later.
Okay.
Bye, Blake. Bye-bye.
Later.